We're going to run through the rest of the round. L.Thompson kicking us off this morning with a nice looking jam. Just getting into a solid looking swoop here as well. Wow, Luke using power to his advantage here. He's got to show up. This is a rematch between, you know, the Big Brew and the Brew. They met up over at J-Bay last year where Luke was a wild card, but this isn't kind of old school v new school. This is more, you know, master versus apprentice right now.
As we take a look at the replay of Luke's opening ride here, and immediately you can see, Jess, these smoother conditions here, the wind more favourable, and these pockety little sections are going to be on offer today, and Luke is just going to town on this opening ride. A couple of nice swoops, just really starting to lean into that rail, tilting the board nicely.
Get back to this in a moment. J.Smith, he's going to kick off his 2026 campaign right here. First ride of the season into a big shove on the tail on the lip line here. He's going to push it again. Bit of foam through this section. He wants this to bowl up, really allow him to open up that wingspan. Connects with the third section here. So can see just kind of getting the paces in right now for Jordy.
This looks like he's just really paced with everything he does here. Super smooth, one of the most stylish competitors on our tour. And mate, this guy just displaces so much water. One of the real power surfers, and coming through to the inside from behind, up and over that last little foamy section. But immediately, Jess, you can see just how broken up the swell lines are now. And Connor referenced it, you know, that these, because this is a residual wind swell now of what we're matching up body to body here. See Luke just creeping on the inside. Looks like he's going to have a wave here.
Yeah, he's moved up the point. He's going to take this one. It's got a nice looking cupped out wall ahead. There's that progressive approach. Going for a full row, but getting hung up on that lip line there. But he kind of just, it feels like he knows that he's got to bring that edge. You know, he's working with Timmy Mack down here, and Timmy, he's all about strategizing.
Couldn't quite stay on top of his board. This is live action with Jordy.
The Big Brew leaning into a first turn here. He's going to go straight back up. You can see this looks like a smaller looking wave, but he's picked one with a cupped out bowl into a solid end section hammer there from J.Smith. So even on those smaller waves, he just has this edge where he can lean so hard into it.
Let's have a look at the replay here of Jordy. Quick snap, nice little flare off the top, straight up and into the lip again. Comes around this section, so a series of nice top turns. And this turn there, Jess, just gets that tail release, the layback slide, and looking actually really fun.
Lukey pretty deep on this one, so he's going to just jump out of that. You know, it's interesting when you look back through the years of Bells, typically
his decision-making process so far in the heat. Looks like we've got a rider.
Yeah, L.Thompson from deep on this one. Again, just unfortunately a little bit too deep there. Had second priority. So he's trying to find waves underneath Jordy right now. Like we mentioned earlier, the top two surfers from the quarterfinals and above to get their points. Lukey would love to add some points here for the DHD team. Here he goes again on a bowly looking inside one, but disinterested.
You could see he wanted the air, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was looking for it. I actually think Jordy may be on a mayhem in this heat. Fun to Matt Biolis has been incredibly successful over the last couple of years. This is L.Thompson.
Love the drift of the tail on that first carve. Into a second drift up on the coping here from L.Thompson, starting to fire up through the inside. Pushes off that back foot, not once but twice. Can see that wave. It even had a shorter wall, but he just stayed so nice and tight in the pocket of that. Jordy, he loves to sit and wait. He waited a while for this one. He's racing to get started here, but not interested in the end there. Like you kind of touched on, I also love holding down that priority here. He's going to have a swing. Wants to find something over a 4-point ride. Really get him back in this heat right now. That's a good looking first turn into the foam for a second here for J.Smith. You can see he wants to just lay it down, but some of these waves not really providing for Jordy right here. Obviously, Jordy, he's had so much success here over the past. 2017 took the win here. Kind of needs to channel that right now. Looking a little bit frustrated on this wave.
Yeah, just...
And then got an interference right at the end. Now look at him. He's got a solid looking replay here on the championship tour.
Nice flare, that opening manoeuvre, really spicy. And just does some really tidy rail work all the way through to the inside. And again, this wave sort of stands up a little bit, does a little layback carve, and then milks this one all the way through until it eventually just sits down.
Snapper, what an iconic trio of events. And for another year, the winner of the Aussie treble is going to take home a tank. The man who did that last year was actually in this heat right now, J.Smith, getting to hold on to take the keys home. I'm Jessie, joined in the booth by Rich Lovett. We're going to take you through the next 11 minutes at this heat. J.Smith needing to fight to get back into this one. Beautiful bowl ahead of him, lays into a great first carve here. That's a solid looking second turn. This is exactly what he's been waiting for. Oh, pumps the fist. J.Smith, he's loving it right now. And I feel like he waited a long time. He was looking frustrated. Now that's the J.Smith we know and love.
Let's have a look at the replay from a different angle here. Biggest wave of the heat so far. And Jordy just hammers the layback snap. Gets straight back on the toe side rail. Flare off the top again. And then to finish it off, a nice clean snap on a tricky little section. That lip line totally changing or constantly changing is such a difficult thing to do.
Jordy, he's going to pick this one up under priority here. Swoop and to a drift on this first turn right now for Jordy. Looking a lot more lethal through this inside section. He might get a little bit more opportunity here. We'd love to see him bash one good looking inside section, and he does. Gets the fins free, drifts up and over, gives us another fist pump. This is J.Smith in great form.
Probably going to eclipse his second scoring ride of the 4.67.
Wow.
So Jordy sees this one and goes, yep, I'll take it. Nice clean wall, that deep bottom turn into a little drifting, sliding snap. So showing some progression there. There's that functional projection floated down the line. Little mistime there, Jess, but the wave really kind of just shut down. I know he would have loved to have gotten up and over that section it was coming down, but he did well to get to that final manoeuvre and complete the ride. So I think Luke had priority there. So Jordy's got this one under Luke's priority, so potentially a mistake from the rookie and, well, the veteran. He's sort of made him pay on this one because Jordy did need to back up that 8-point ride. Great vision here from above. And just watch the tail pop out here. Bang, he gets that tail release. And always a very difficult moment to control. Has eclipsed L.Thompson's highest scoring wave at the moment, so this one really stings, so he's going to have to fight back here.
Answer back right now, needing an 8.3, our young South African rookie gets a big bowl. He's going to throw the fins, give us an air reverse. Unfortunately, just getting hung up in the foam there. So, Luke, you can see he's really trying to get himself that exclamation mark on his waves, but maybe just forcing it a little bit. Nothing like J.Smith pulling on your heartstrings to start the morning on an Easter morning. He had to fight back into this one and has done it in a convincing way. Now it's time to see if L.Thompson can do that himself. Needs an 8.3. Has to be the best wave of the heat so far.
Evidently, it's old faithful. It's about 4 years old. Another thing to pay particular attention to is these prototype full fiberglass fins on Jordy's board. So he's riding a variety of different shapes.
An incredible effort from Luke. Great surfing, in my opinion. Really took it to Jordy in the opening moments of that heat, but really it was that set that Jordy converted on. That was the momentum shift.
Yeah, the Battle of the Brews, it comes out with J.Smith taking the win here. L.Thompson, unfortunately, he's out of the draw, but we will see him very shortly over at Margaret River.